Welcome to Registered Care Manager, home of the Qualitiser process, created to help care home managers deliver quality outcomes at every touch point. And as part of this series, we're ready for a reset using the 5R framework to spring into action. We're looking at the first of the 5 Rs, which is recharging for optimum performance. Let's be truthful, how often do we actively really take the need to recharge seriously? I don't think most of us do. And yet we take for granted that laptops and mobile phones, of course they need recharging because they'll run down and eventually they won't be working. And yet we don't put that same analogy against ourselves, and we really should. So in the recharge module, we are going to introduce you to 6 tips that you can look at to help you recharge. And this video, we're looking at tip 1, reviewing your goals and personal plans. Because if you take 15 minutes to review the goals and personal plans that you have, that gives you clarity, which helps you to refocus, which builds your momentum. And it serves as a reminder to what matters most to you. Now, key number 1 as reviewing your goals and personal plans is that you need to look at across all aspects of your life, not just work or the leadership role that you have or the strategic development in your care home. We're looking at your personal health and well-being, your fitness levels, your goals for learning. If you're anything like me, I've had on my list, I want to learn Italian for years. I am finally starting to do that. It might be goals on your relationships and your close family members. It might be financial goals. It might be generic quality of life goals. But it's important that you do have a cross-section of goals, because as with anybody, if we just focus on one area, which if you're thinking, well, I only have goals and plans for my job and my role and the care home business I run, then you will lose sight of yourself. And if we lose sight of ourselves, that is partly an effect on us feeling run down, because there's no focus on us and what matters to us personally. So review your goals. After this video, take 15 minutes out, go somewhere quiet and jot them down. I do have a downloadable reference point, so you don't lose sight of goals across all aspects of your life, and you're happy for you to download it below if that would help you. Some of you might already know your goals and you just need to rewrite them to remind yourself. But if you need that prompt, download it below. And don't forget that having personal goals and achieving personal goals has a direct link to motivation and how you feel about your work environment. And I'm going to give you what might be a really crazy example, because the one thing that is really important, and I don't want to teach you to do something that you already fully know, because this video is not about how to do SMART goals, because we work within that framework on our day-to-day basis with care planning and action planning. Of course, you'll know about SMART goals, but don't forget, they need to be specific, they need to be achievable, and this is the bit, they need to be realistic. And I think it's important to say here, I am not saying don't have unrealistic goals, but if they feel unrealistic to us, then we will not have any movement towards achieving them. So if you've got a goal that feels a bit far away, then you need to break it down. You need to have sub-goals that is achievable and realistic, and you can put a time frame on it, so that your bigger goal may still be a bit away, but you know you're working towards it. And sometimes those big goals don't necessarily mean big goals. So I'm not talking about a massive goal of moving across to Australia or buying £1 million house in the country. I'm talking about sometimes goals that we have, we don't even realise that our mind is telling us it's unrealistic. And I'll give you an example, nothing to do with work, but I have a horse. Some of you might have noticed the picture in the background. And I've had a car and a trailer for 4 years, and every year I'm going to tow the trailer myself. Every year I'm going to tow the trailer myself, because it's crazy. I'm an independent woman, but I still wasn't doing it because I didn't have to. I've got a lovely husband, and he happily takes me and my pony wherever I want to go, and that was great, but it still didn't tick the box of my goal of being able to do it myself. And it wasn't until I broke it down into sub-goals that I got anywhere, because the whole take your horse out in the box, off you go, was too big for me. So I broke it down into hitch it up first, learn how to hitch it to the car, learn how to drive it around the streets without a horse in it, learn how to manoeuvre it, because when you do go out with a horse, I can assure you, horse yards that you go to, there's not a nice drive in, drive out. You have to start reversing and twisting and turning. And I didn't know that I could do that. And then I had to bring it back to the yard I'm on and learn how to reverse it into the bay. And then I had to take it out with my horse, but have somebody with me just in case, or that was my backup sort of just in case. They were all sub-goals that I hadn't even factored in towards achieving the actual get your horse on the trailer, off you go. And now I'm independent. It's brilliant. We go off to loads of places, just my pony and myself, and it's brilliant. And it's a goal that I had on my to-do list every year for 3 years, until I broke it down into, right, what bits do you need to achieve in order to get to the goal? And I'm just giving you that as an example, because sometimes we don't even realise that that's what's stopping us. So have fun, take 15 minutes out, review your goals, your personal plans. That will help you clarify, it will help you refocus, and it will build your momentum and your motivation. And that in itself is an excellent recharge. See you in the next video. Hope that was interesting. Thanks a lot.